Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video I'll be reading chapter 2 of, what's the name of the game again? My Vow to My Liege. Whoops. Alright, let's get started. Where am I? Is this another dream? My chest is hurting so much. When I extend my hand over my chest, it feels as if the pain were transferring into my fingertips. The pain! I'm scared! I try to cry out only to produce a hoarse hissing sound like my throat is filled with torn cotton batting. The bones that have been exposed to the air quickly blackens and crumbles to pieces. My body finally decomposes and slowly turns into dust and is carried away by the wind. That your body is dead, FuChai. Your soul destroyed. You are finally following in the footsteps of the kings that has gone on before you. I am not FuChai. I'm Xena. Me. You are a traitor. But it is a shame that humans cannot alter the sacred vow. The royal family of Ninja have committed a great travesty against the gods and will surely be avenged 1,000 times over. Ooh, spooky. Great for spooky season. In despair, I hug my broken body tightly. Hope you like my cat ears. If I cry now, would tears or blood or my eyeballs fall out? Oh my gosh. What is this that is breaking through the darkness? That's a very soothing and relaxing sound. It's like you're listening to sirens. And then they grab you and drown you. I'm kidding. That's a really pretty sound, not gonna lie. It's the jadefish. That hoe came to the rescue. Then I hear a familiar song. It instantly transports me back to a time from my childhood. There my fears, pain, and despair disappear. In the edges of my consciousness, a large pale green fish swims by as the song seems to trail behind it. I watch it swish its tail and a certain youth almost comes to mind. In my hazy memories, he is happily singing the all too familiar children's song. Let's just enjoy it. Close your eyes. Listen to the notes. Listen to the voices. You're probably hearing my computer hissing really loudly. But wow, that is so calming. Okay, let's go on. I stare at him quietly, fearing that my memory of him will disappear if I interrupt it. Why are the years of one children shorter than those of the beautiful dream? What? Why are the years of one's childhood shorter than those of the beautiful dream? True, now I understand it. The youth gives me a cheerful smile. He says, "Don't be afraid." My throat is dry and my eyes are sore as the feeling begins to return to my fingertips. It seems like my nightmare is over. The lights outside are burning bright and it appears that the night has fallen upon us. Are you awake, my liege? Where am I? Chen Feng holds me up to my shoulders and wet cloth falls from my forehead. I just realized on chapter 1 that he's actually a candidate. I don't know why it passed by my mind, but yeah, he's a candidate. He's good looking. Yeah, he is, but not my type, you know? But we're still gonna play him though. The Prime Minister also said that you, my liege, have started to burn up a fever right after fainting. So he had you and that A officer from Qi brought to the temple. Did you manage to capture the other rebel? We found her trying to break out the nets by the shores of Moon Lake, so I had to decapitate her. Oh, what? The story's so dark. Good. Damn, okay. As long as you return to us unharmed, then all is well. I need to go and see the officer from Qi. Give me my change of clothes. Understood. It is strange that you are not stopping me. I am afraid that my objection would displease you, my liege. Are you afraid of displeasing me? The last time you made me so angry was when you finished all the treats given to me by the Kingdom of Yue, even after your expressions remained so impassive. I was only testing them for poison. You did not have to eat all of them just to test them for poison. That's a fact. He enjoyed them. All the treats were different, so I was unable to tell them apart. That's cute. Oh, how noble of you, and how petty of me. It seems that the treats from you were really quite delicious. No, I can't tell because I couldn't tell because you ate them all. Hey! My liege, let me tie the jadefish omelet onto your belt. It is only then that I notice I've been clutching onto the jadefish this whole time. I hand it over to Chen Feng with a sigh. I had another nightmare just now. It was a good thing that I also had this jade amulet. If Yi Huang were still around, he would have been more capable of chasing away the bad dreams and relieving you of the plane of your afflictions. While Chen Feng fastens the jade amulet to my belt, he suddenly stills his hand and a hint of vexation falls over his usual calm demeanor. Yes, how nice it would be if Yi Huang were here. My heart aches at the thought as I change the subject. Aren't I alive and well right now? I curse the fact that I helped helpless and unable to shoulder your burdens for you. Thank you. The fact that you are willing to shoulder my burdens has made me very happy. After all, if you were not here, there would be no one else to whom I could have complained. My liege. Ah, but please try to control your appetite a little bit more next time. At the very least, leave me half a bite of the treats to try. Oh, being a little flirtatious over here. Understood. I burst out laughing when I hear him reply in such a serious manner, and the pain in my chest lessens a little. However, speaking of the treats from Kingdom Yue, I hesitated a little before asking. Do you know how the King of Yue fares? I heard that he is still locked up and guarded in that hut. My liege, the Prime Minister said that Grandson Yi is now waiting for you at the main hall. If my liege is awake, please make yourself presentable and go there immediately. Who are you to tell me to be there immediately? I'm the king over here. Jeez. Grandson Yi, why is he here? Chen Feng shoots me a look and tells me he has no idea either. I quickly put on my headwear and rush out the room. Just as I open the doors, I quietly whisper some instructions to Chen Feng. Go to the hut by the mausoleum and keep an eye on the guards. Make sure that they don't make things difficult for GouJian. No. Understood. Oh, this dude again. I forgot how to voice him. Prime Minister Wu, why are your guards holding me here? I would like to know why you, good sir, and the guards were caught sneaking into the mausoleum of Nin's former king in the middle of the night. You should know why. What else was I supposed to do? We were placed under house arrest in my guest house for a day and night without any news. But we agreed on 2 days. Upon hearing my voice, Grandson Yi and Ruiz both stop arguing and greet me with a bow.
Since we had not reached the agreed deadline, why would a gentleman such as yourself do something so rude and unreasonable?
Yi's face turns red, then pales. If this person is so reckless and impatient that he would place himself in such a precarious position as to give Wuzi and I the advantage, then we have no reason to suspect what he has a hidden agenda. Prime Minister, we believe that you are being too harsh. After all, this is the family friend that we are talking about. Yi has worried himself into a frenzy.
I apologize. The fact that you are so worried that you cannot even wait one day makes me wonder the sort of relationship you must have with your missing officer.
In the court, he is my subordinate, and hence my responsibility. Personally, he is a family friend, and thus I am obligated to look out for him. How can I calmly wait for the news of him?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Your Majesty, whatever do you mean? You barged into our court, and yet we defended you from your own ministers, and even promised to find your friend within 2 days. We did all of these things because we admire your loyalty to your friend and to your king. However, as soon as our backs were turned, you tried sneaking into the forbidden temple. Have you no regard for us?
Your Majesty, this is high treason.
This is not my intention.
Enough! It is clear that you, Yi, are mocking us. We will be writing a letter to your king, and you can forget about saving your lowly officer.
Yes! Get it! Woman power. When he hears how serious my tone of voice is and sees my stern expression, Yi prostrates himself on the ground with a loud thud. His voice quivers as he speaks. I beg you, your Majesty, to rescue the King of Q's beloved sister, Xiaohyang.
What? That child is our...
When the princess heard that she is being married to the King of Ninj. She and sister are meeting you at least once prior. The King of Qi spoils his sister and had agreed to let her come here dressed as a man. Oh, snap, that's why in chapter 1 she was like, this boy looks like a man, like pretty enough to be a girl. Whoa, everything's coming together. And to think that this is ridiculous. Your Majesty, it is not my intention to anger you, but if you do not deliver the princess safely back to Kingdom of Qi, I will be sentenced to 1,000 deaths. Fine, since Xiaohyang is your bride-to-be, how can we stand by and do nothing? Rest assured, we shall do our best to find her. Dude, you should have been honest from the beginning. The perpetrators have only kidnapped her and may yet use her to demands of us. The prince's life should be in no danger. It would be convenient of agents of Qi to move around in the foreign country, so why don't you let us investigate the matter secretly, lest we alert the enemy? The Prime Minister has a point. However, we are talking about the princess. If the King of Qi sends a letter regarding the matter, how should I respond? That's your fault, fool. Although we cannot guarantee that we will find the princess immediately, we will send someone to investigate this matter right away and will give you an update in 2 days. Even if we have to dig into the ground a mile deep, I promise to bring the princess back to safety in one piece. Morning will be here soon. I'll go and prepare the carriage to take the envoy back to the guest house to rest. I hope that you will keep a secret what happened today at Tiger Hill. Yes, I understand. I will leave this matter in your hands, Your Majesty. Yi bows deeply before turning around and walking away despondently. I don't believe he has any other option but to trust us with the matter. After Wuzi sends Yi out the door, he turns around and pulls me into the empty room. My liege, Prime Minister. Oh, his voice sounds similar to Chen Feng. My bad. Has the young girl awakened? Zhang Dan frowns and shakes his head while pointing towards the soft couch. The young girl we saved yesterday is still sleeping,
but her complexion looks even worse than before. Her lips have turned dark purple, and she appears to be in pain. Ooh, maybe it was the dagger's doing. Why is she still holding onto the dagger? Ah. Bro, it's probably emitting that aura that's making her sick. This time, I'm sure it's just not me. It's not just me. The dagger is giving me a bad feeling. Could it be the cause of Xiaojiang's current predicament? My liege, don't move. Whoa. A black shadow pounces out of the blade and Wuzi pulls me behind him in the blink of an eye. The horrid thing is like a mist, but gives off the smell of dead bodies with shocking speed, and before we can react, it closes the distance between us with a whoosh. Just when we were about to be swallowed by the black mist, it suddenly stops as hitting an invisible wall, then disappears. Wuzi and Zhangdang are both wearing serious expressions. I guess what just happened was not my imagination. What exactly is that dagger? I'm afraid that is the instrument to carry out the curse. The fact that this young girl is still unconscious is also a result of this curse. Will she die? It is like a slow-acting poison that would kill a person after a period of time. My liege, please do not touch that dagger. If you do, you may also become cursed. Is that the head priest even able to break this curse? I have tried, but the curse is very vicious. It requires 3 lives to break it, including the spell's casters. I am afraid that I alone would not suffice. Damn, 3 lives. Why are they causing such a malicious curse on an innocent people? Worried, I looked at Xiaojiang. The young girl is going to die in her prime simply just because she was curious about her husband-to-be. Head priest, her expression seems to have become more peaceful. Yes, it seems as if there was a strong force fighting against the malicious curse. Could it be the light that protected my liege? Light? I glanced at the jade fish on my waist to see if it was looking at the same as usual. If anything can protect us from this curse, it would be the jade amulet. Whoa. This amulet came in handy. My liege, can I see the amulet? Yes. When Zhangdang has his hands on the jade fish, his face lights up with an understanding. No wonder. This amulet holds a strong power. It could be undoubtedly help break the curse. Before he died, this was given to us by our childhood friend, Shi Yinghuang. It had saved our life once before, during the sacrificial ritual. Is Shi Yinghuang actually dead? We will find out. Shi Yinghuang, wow! Wasn't he the genius of the Shi family and the son of the previous head priest and head priestess? I heard a lot of good things about him, even before I became the head of the Zhang family and the head priest. When I hear him talk about Yinghuang so casually, I grow speechless and can only nod my head. If this jadefish amulet can dispel malicious spells, can it be used to break this curse? Sorry, I have already tried that, but my magic just bounced back. Apparently this amulet has a will of its own. It only recognized Shi Yinghuang as its owner, and it's protecting my liege as it was commanded to do. But isn't Yinghuang? To think that Shi Yinghuang, final's wish to protect my liege, was so strong. It is a pity that without any owner, it can only work passively. Luckily, it still has some power. Like what happened just now? That's right. Didn't it protect the Prime Minister too? The pure magic in this jade can purify evil. If my liege is willing to stay by the side of this young girl, it could slow down and alleviate the effects of this curse. You don't expect my liege to take this child wherever she goes, do you? That would be unnecessary. After all, if we don't break the curse sooner rather than later, she will die. It will only take a few days. He's like, if she doesn't do it, then she'll die. I don't know if it is Zidan's talk about death or my memory of Yinghuang that causes me to feel something evil spark in my heart. If only we had succeeded in killing the dragon god 5 years ago, the head priest and the head priestess would still be of the Shi clan. And not only will we be able to save Xiaoyang, we will be able to have nothing to worry about, would we not? But everything happens for a reason, you know? My liege, I am suddenly made aware of what I just said. I am to apologize to Zhang Dan when he smiles and waves his hand dismissively. My liege, it is not wrong. The mages of Shi clan were the most powerful mages of the Kingdom of Yue. Even the mages of the Kingdom of Chu could not overcome them. Even the young Yi Huang was extraordinarily talented, and was admired by every mage. I am sure that I will never be able to measure up to him in his lifetime. Truth be told, I'm quite envious of him. Aww. But no one can bring back the dead. We can only resolve this on our own. I will prepare some medicine so that she will endure the journey back to the Kingdom of Qi. My liege, we understand. It is our fault after all. I thought that we were going to find a solution. Since Xiaoyang may die at the moment, we should at least report to Mr. Gunsun Yi and the King of Qi. Even if those villains were still alive and had been handed over to King of Qi, do you really think he would believe our incredulous explanation? Even if he does believe it, he will be able to hold the Kingdom Ninja accountable and will likely break our alliance. We have heard that the King of Qi is a willful person, and when he went to the Kingdom of HéLǘ to take back his queen, he invaded many of his cities. If his precious sister were to die here in Hinge, we do not believe he would break only our alliance. That is true. There is another way. Putting my troubled thoughts aside, I raise my downcast eyes and look at Wu Zi. With his hands together, he throws out his arms and bends at the waist in a deep bow. I beg my liege to execute the King of Yue, GouJian. Dang. Prime Minister, do you know what you are asking? Does my liege not wish to know why I have detained GouJian? Few people know about the guards on Tiger Hill, and even fewer will have provided the Dragon God's followers information on the forbidden areas, waterways, and terrain. This is purely the Prime Minister's speculation. GouJian is entirely ignorant of the Dragon God and matters regarding the seal. This is also an assumption, my liege. If there is any cahoots, would not the followers of the Dragon God share the information with him? My liege, if the Dragon God's followers are successful, who else will benefit from it? On the other hand, if you could think of it, someone else has already thought of it. Wu Zi raises his hands and shoots me a look. It feels like he wants to extract a logical explanation for my confusion and to chain up the excuse I may have for pardoning GouJian. When the King of Yue lost the war, he offered to guard the former king's mausoleum as part of his reparation. As so we agreed to pardon him, would our honor not be in question if we went back on our own word? It is divinely gracious of you to forgive the GouJian for killing your father. Kill their father. Now everyone will see him as an ingrate for conspiring to kill the princess. Oh my gosh, they're basically gonna use him as like a... Basically, they're gonna use him as a sacrifice. That is so messed up. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. No, that's not logical. The kidnappers may not have known that the victims was the Princess of Qi, and even if they wanted to start a war or even threaten us, did they really need to use such a dark spell? We need to investigate further for these questions to be answered. However, the King of Qi, as well as the rest of the world, needs a reasonable explanation. So this would suffice for now. Did my liege not say that even if he catches the followers of the Dragon God, he would still be laughingstock of the world? Right now, we not only need to expedite Xiaoyang back to her kingdom, but also prevent the king of Kiev from waging a war against us. We're facing an extremely tight schedule and could only convict him now. We can look into it further at a later time. Then wouldn't GouJian be nothing more than a scapegoat? That's what I was trying to say, a scapegoat. But I didn't think it was the right word to use. But it is the right word to use. Ruiz pauses. When he finally speaks again, his voice holds an unutterable sadness in it. My back is hurting. It has not yet been 3 years since our former king passed away. The memories of him are still very fresh. Does my liege really believe GouJian is innocent? We do not know. He is the ravenous wolf that could not rest. Since the moment he took your father's life, he is unable to forget the taste of blood. Wow. Someone needs to relax. If my liege means to carry out the former king's final wishes, then you mustn't leave any loose ends. Damn. Since I cannot refute what he had just said, I can only shake my head silently. I know, but I cannot do it. Are you silent because you have a better plan, my liege? There is no better plan. Who would benefit most from it? The king of Ninj would for pinning the crime on GouJian. But why are you still hesitating, my liege? Bro, you don't talk to me like that. I'm the king here. Are these not the things that you must do as the king of Ninj? Revenge your murdered father, to break the sacred vow, and to expand your lines northward? Or have you forgotten the promise you made 3 years ago? Bro, if you guards execute this mother trucker, I'm kidding. We will forget not our revenge, and we will swear to break the sacred vow. Since you have not forgotten your vows, then you should not seek power for personal gain. I admire you for letting go of your personal grudges and understood your ambitions when you turn off offers of marriage. But if you let the ravenous wolf like GouJian off the hook, then that would only mean you will only know sense of right and wrong, and I will have to beg to differ. Bro, chill. My liege, please place your kingdom before your personal feelings. When have we not placed the good of our kingdom before anything else? Yes, exactly. Even our life is not as important as good as of the kingdom. I punched the pillar next to me with all my might. Next time it would be you, Ruiz. Although others may think that I'm doing this out of personal feelings for a certain someone, the truth is I don't want history to repeat itself. A moment of weakness had led it to a lifetime of regret. Ooh, that is deep. The seal of the dragon god seems to be weakening, and I don't know how much longer I have to live. However, the torment of my own guilt is as bad as the suffering the sacred seal gives me. This matter involves 3 countries. While we will take your words into consideration, we must deliberate over the matter before coming to a decision. Ruiz wants to continue the discussion, but I do not wish to argue with him any further, so I turned around and refused to look back. Yes, exactly. I stepped out from the royal villa with my head still spinning from our discussion. Those criticisms were like a large hailstones and kept crashing unceasingly into the chest, and I found myself breathless. I clutched my jade fish amulet. Since the pain is not of the sacred seal, it only serves to comfort me. I wonder if my friend ever regretted giving this to me. Isn't kith and kin more important than the kingdom of Ninj? I laugh at myself, given a choice between their kingdom and family, and the Shi clan choose their kingdom. However, I was only left with the kingdom and nothing else. My liege. Chen Feng, why are you not at the caretaker's hut? I'm here to report that GouJian has escaped from the hut. Some people are not doing their job. They're about to get fired. Or executed in this case. What? When the Prime Minister went to the cell to interrogate him, he was already escaped through the window. Do you know where he is? No, I'm sorry. But he nailed a piece of cloth to the window from which he escaped. Chen Feng, we want you to hide near the crane tree. Make sure that you're able to see us talking to Gyuan, and there's no one else can listen to our conversation. What happens if Gyuan attacks you? He will not. But even if he does, we still have you. Understood. Ooh, let's see who he is. A young slave stands alone by the edge of the stream. Though his clothes were worn, they are immaculate. Okay, what's with the word immaculate? Everyone's been using that word a lot. The 3 years he has lived as a slave has not diminished any of his noble bearings. Without me realizing, my hurried pace slows down. Okay, sorry. Our 3 years of friendship was established in this dreamlike and sandy place, and I hoped that I would not have to face the harsh reality before this land collapsed. To personally destroy sandy dreamland is one thing, but to have the tides destroy it is yet another. Honestly speaking, what happened that year was an accident that should never have happened. Adieu. I have no words. I'm speechless. This man is dangerously looking. He's handsome. Wow. I'm blushing a little bit. Okay. The youth turns around. The youth turns towards me with a smile. Oh, yes, please. I don't know how to do his voice. Iris, you saw the piece of cloth. Oh, he calls me by my nickname. Why? Why did you call me here? 3 years ago, it was a stream that you dropped your amulet and gone looking for in the water. I thought you were trying to drown yourself and dragged you to the shore only to get beaten up by you. That's cute. The way we met was very awkward. Yes. Even though you were my only close friend, I would need to make things awkward again. Oh, he looks so cute when he makes that face. Okay. Huh? Suddenly, GouJian's expression turns serious. He faces me, gets down on his hands and knees, and then bows. Pardon my impropriety, but I beg your majesty to save me. You, how long have you known that I am the king of ninja? Oh. You are not a priest, but you command the guards of Tiger Hill. I'm not stupid. How could I not see that you were somebody with authority? Yesterday, you told the guard to be lenient with me twice. That confirmed my suspicion, which is why, at the risk of losing my own life, I escaped so I could declare my innocence to you. If you were truly innocent, you needn't have come to us, to explain yourself. Prime Minister Ruiz is suspicious of me and intends to condemn me before seeking out the truth. I was afraid that I would not have had the chance to clear my name. Your Majesty, please investigate this matter. I, GouJian, have never once plotted against you. Whether you are innocent or not isn't important. The princess is already under a curse that will die very soon. What worse is that, and she is a king of Qi's most beloved younger sister. Younger sister? I understand. That is why the king of Yi, GouJian, is most suitable scapegoat. I looked at him silently. It was Ruiz said, if I can think of it, others have thought of it too. Hence, this is the most logical answer. GouJian suddenly raises his head. He wears a determined expression, his eyes burning bright like searing flames. I am shocked to see the look in his eyes. There is a divine doctor of the Kingdom of Yue who can create miracles. He could save the Princess of Qi. What? There was a time when I heard that your majesty was in poorhouse, so to prove my loyalty, I searched diligently for a doctor to cure you. Finally, the time has come for you to use him. We thank you for your kind intentions, but doctors cure illnesses, and the princess suffers from a curse. The reason I call for this divine doctor is because he can not only cure illnesses, but can also dispel curses and hexes. I think that's what it means. That's how you pronounce it. You should not tell such lies, even if it means your life might be spared. Your Majesty, please believe me. Do you think it was easy for me to find such a capable divine doctor? It took a lot of effort and time, effort, and resources. Even if you're telling the truth, why are you curious to know? Why would you go such lengths to we are curious to know why would you go such lengths to find him? Do not tell us that you are sincere about healing us. Even Ninj, many ministers would not put that much effort into finding us a healer. Not to mention, you hadn't even confirmed that Iris was the king of Ninj. Fine. I will not try to deceive you. Saying that I wish to prove my loyalty to you by finding you a medical help is nothing more than flattery. The simple fact is that I am still alive is all thanks to your mercy. If I do not do something to please your Majesty, I will not even survive beyond this night. GouJian, we have to ask ourselves, when have we ever mistreated you? Even guarding the former king's mausoleum was your request. I know, your Majesty, Iris treats me so well, but what of it? Even now, I must kneel in front of your Majesty to beg for your mercy. Should I not do everything I can to please you? Should I not take every opportunity to guarantee my survival? Should I not find a rare person just so your Majesty might remember and reward me? Would not a patient's eyes light up in hope over such a doctor? Iris, if you were me, wouldn't you do the same? GouJian gives a bitter chuckle that sounds as if there was a lot of unspeakable emotions mixed in it, so much that I cannot meet his gaze. How am I supposed to answer him? Although I cannot tell if he is telling me the truth, GouJian has been a slave these past few years and has tasted more than his fair share of hardships and bitterness. How can I not understand his overly cautious attitude? Don't I also live through the same dilemma every day? While Iris can trust her friends without question, FuChai cannot. Maybe your Majesty still does not believe me, but everything I have, including my own life, is at your mercy. If I lied to you, I might survive today, but would I be able to survive past tomorrow, or the day after that? If I may speak my mind, if we save the princess, everyone will be happy. If we can't save her, then we will be no worse off than worse off than we are right now. Wow, my lips are very dry. My mouth is dry. But the longer we wait, the worse the consequences will be. If we leave now by the waterway, we can reach the doctor in 2 days. If the divine doctor says that she can be saved, you may cut off my head, the present, and give it to King of Qi. Dang, he's serious. Iris, you are the king of Ninja, therefore I would not blame you if you used me as a scapegoat for the kingdom. But would you be satisfied if you did not at least try to save the princess? That's true. They have caught up to me. The lives of the princess and I and the diplomatic relations between Ninja and Qi are now in your hands. Iris, let's take the gamble. How dare you, GouJian, to break out of prison and hold my liege under duress. Chill. When I see Ruiz draw his sword, I know that the best opportunity for us to kill GouJian. Bro, his eyes is one of them is open and one of them is closed. I think that's just so funny how he looks right there. As for the crime, dead man tell no tales, so we can spin it however we please. Ooh, dang, that's deep. But you have the choice to kill him. Should I just do it for the fun of it? Nah, obviously everyone's gonna choose the choice to stop Ruiz, so I'm gonna stop him. Stop, my liege. The King of Yue did nothing wrong. He was only telling us the way to save Xiaoyang. After you left, my liege, she took a turn of the worst. I'm afraid that we need to present his head to the Kingdom of Qi should the worst happen today. I understand, but where is the justice in this when the Prime Minister wishes to execute me even before learning the truth? You want justice? Then you should have died 3 years ago. I swear upon the lives of the people Yue and my clan that I've never been disloyal. Not only can I save the life of the princess, but I can also prevent a war from breaking out between Qi and the Ninja. There is no need for any other lives to be lost but yours. You can show your loyalty of Ninja right now. Ruiz lets out a cold chuckle as he brandishes his sword. GouJian turns pale and yells out to me. Whoa! The Divine Doctor is called XiShi! See? She? Ooh, that's the end of chapter 2. I mean, chapter 3. Yeah? Yeah, wait, no. Chapter 2. Yeah, I'm right. Alright, guys, that is the end of chapter 2. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more, chapter 3 will be posted very soon, so stay tuned until then. If you haven't watched the previous videos, I did prologue, chapter 1, and this is chapter 2. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, duh. So you could go ahead and watch prologue and chapter 1 if you haven't watched that. Yeah, so chapter 3 and chapter 4 will be posted soon, so I hope you stay tuned until then. I'll see y'all later, guys. Bye!